Come on, man.
What's up, baby?
Come on. They're in trouble. If you think there
was one game,
right, yeah, 41 games.
It was a bad
if you think if you're talking title, come on, they're in trouble. Listen, I get it. There's only two arguments right now in favor of the Warriors being able to put this together. One is they did it before. Okay, irrelevant as it relates to this year.
Okay,
and then the West is bad.
I'm hanging on to that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, congratulations. You got a lot going for you. Come on now. Goo, this team
disarray?
Not disarray, but
real quick, were you incorporating two guys that have been out? Arguably your two best players.
You can't lose that game.
Oh, no, you can't.
They did.
I'm offended by that. That turned me off. They weren't ready to play. But I could put on the Boston tape, the Memphis tape.
Great. They can dial it up here and there. That's all they can do right now.
So what are you telling us?
They're not going to win it.
Okay, we got.
That's what I'm telling you.
We got the bet.
They're not going to win it.
Good afternoon.
Here's the other thing.
Give it to me.
Their defense stinks. It's terrible.
Right now
it is. They give up 118 points a game. You heard Mark Willard. The Lakers, Pistons, Spurs, and Charlotte.
That's bad. So you don't think that now?
Why would it?
Okay, I'm about to give you two reasons.
Wait a minute. Draymond's getting better defensively?
I'm about to give you two
Wiggins is getting better defensively?
I'm about to give you two reasons.
Clay's getting better? Come on.
Don't laugh at this. And we got Zaza coming up at 1 p.m. on the executive show, Steiny. Kuminga was showing signs of playing defense. When I was out, you and Evan were doing a show. I heard you talk about,
one guy.
Okay. But
one guy.
What about the big fella? If he figures it out by June.
He stinks on defense, Goo.
Yeah.
He's a liability.
He
makes them worse defensively if you're talking about Wiseman.
I'm not saying he's Bill Russell. I'm not saying he's an anchor. But when you're out of answers or options, Steiny, he was showing some signs of getting it, Wiseman, before he stubbed his toe. Okay, right. And those two injuries we don't talk about are concerning because it's like going on 2 weeks now. So they're without those two guys.
That's another reason.
Options of seeing, hey, has a light gone on?
Let me tell you
That's
something.
all.
And you're doing it again.
You're
doing it again.
Because I'm not being.
Here you go.
I don't
They're
like
20 and 21.
I hate it.
And the first thing you say, you're talking about they need are the two second-year players who, A, aren't playing now, and B, have very marginal roles. Can we talk about the big three? Can we talk about important players for this team?
No doubt.
How are they doing?
Okay, Clay is doing better.
He is not.
Steiny, what do you want from him? Because if you want 2019 Clay Thompson, Mr. Steinmetz, that will never happen.
Well, then they can't win it. How about that?
Night, he was hitting shots. He was the only one hitting shots.
Daryl, he was 5 for 9 in the first quarter, and he was 5 for 15 the rest of the way.
Right, gotcha.
5 for 15 the rest of the way. His defense, bad again.
Okay.
Poole, nice little offensive game. Defense, unacceptable.
And for me, the nice little offensive game didn't come until it was too late.
Right.
And I know he was coming back off the bench. I'm not selling you lemons, telling you they're diamonds. I'm just trying to. Why are you going vodka on us? You are so absolute
all year.
In saying
you just
nothing
don't listen,
can
and
grow.
I try to be a nice guy about it. Seriously.
No, Steiny, you're robbing yourself or the fans of it getting better. Greater later is the slogan. And Curry coming back in Wiggins' second game, you shouldn't have lost that game.
Well,
you just shouldn't have. But it's bigger than that when we talk about what are you going to be in June or April. That's all I'm saying to you,
Cross your fingers is not a strategy. All right? That's a hope. Let's put the rat on the table.
Okay.
Let's talk about this homestand. D+ at best. They start off Christmas against the Memphis Grizzlies.
Incredible.
They win.
Okay, shocked me.
Okay.
All right.
The next 7 opponents, if you look at the standing, they then played 7 sub-500 teams.
And every game was hard.
3 of the games were against terrible teams.
All right.
Charlotte, Portland, Utah, Detroit, Orlando, Phoenix stunk, and the Hawks. They went 4-3, okay? 4-3. They expended a ton of energy. Draymond and Clay, they brought them to the 5-0.
Gotcha.
And they go 4-3, and Come on now.
I'm with you.
Come on now.
And I got a bitter taste in my mouth, as probably does Dub Nation, after getting off to that start and losing the last 3. But last night, there was no Bancaro. I don't know what that was. And I was just, can I tell you something? I'm being so real right now, Steinmetz. I felt like the Warriors were getting the whistle last night, and they still couldn't bring it home. But again, if you want to go Mark Willard on us and be offended that why did you wait too late to start playing, I don't have the answers. But Steiny, I'm not saying they don't need to make any moves. All that's on the table. I'm just confident that they'll make the right moves. Tom Cruise, all the right moves. And those games that you just mentioned on the homestand, all but one did not have Steph Curry. So there's rust involved. That's all. Like, I'm seeing enough for Clay that, okay, on any given night, you'll never be the number one. But if you get off to a hot start, you might be. But defensively, I think that's about want. I think it's about will. And I think when the stage gets bright, this road trip, they can tap into, okay, enough BS.
Say that and uncross your fingers.
Now that's
I noticed you got both hands with your fingers crossed.
That's pretty good.
Listen, Warrior fans, listen to Steph Curry.
The way the guys played those first 5 games and scratching and clawing and pulling out those wins was huge. We hit a tough stretch for the last 3. It happens, but I think we have to be honest with ourselves about the details of what makes a winning team. Remind ourselves, what that is, and hold ourselves to that standard in terms of everything you saw in the fourth quarter tonight. Not saying you're going to pick up 94 feet every possession and be able to sustain that for 48 minutes, but the level of focus, the level of togetherness, toughness, high IQ basketball. We demonstrated a lot of that to try to give ourselves a chance to win tonight. So got to put all those pieces together. And a lot of it, too, is our defensive principle, not fouling, rebound the ball, which we didn't do either one of those tonight. Offensively moving the ball, we showed bright spots of that. And then figuring out our rotations again because, we've had guys in and out the lineup and guys on minute restrictions. And you want to find, hopefully, a good run where we have a full squad and understand, again, how we can build momentum. We've been talking about it for a long time, and eventually you got to do it or else time runs out.
Be honest. He's saying we got to be honest with ourselves. We got to be honest with ourselves. Got to be honest.
No, he said we
ain't that good right now.
No, we ain't got but 41 left. We got to get up. We got to make it happen. And I'm going to say something that may shock the hell out of you.
Sure,
we talked about windows with the Niners, windows with the Warriors, and I get it. It's a real conversation. I'm telling you, Matt, with our bet and me with the hopes that this team is going back to back, I still stand by it. Last night was embarrassing. It was pathetic. No excuse. But with that, if you end up being right, and the Jackals who say, and it's not too many, Steiny, outside of you that say you think this team can't get it done. If they didn't get to the Western Conference Finals, I would come in the next day and tell you and our listeners the window's closed. Like, let's say they don't get it done and I lose the bet. If you don't get to the WCFs, it's a wrap, Jack.
You know what? Since it's a window, the window's closed right now. Now, because it's a window.
They're champs. It should be open.
The window is closed right now. Now, because it's a window, I reserve the right to reopen it a crack. But right now, the window's closed. Stop it. They're 20-21. They're one of the worst defensive teams in the league. Come on. They shoot 58 threes a game. Here's the other thing. And I am kind of playing devil's advocate. Yeah. Not devil's advocate, but I'm trying to, they have a 3-guard offense, and neither of the 3 guards can guard.
But Wiggins can, but I get you. All right.
But I'm talking about.
I know who you're talking about.
If you don't play pool, then you got a scoring problem.
How did Phoenix win that last night?
If you play pool, then you got a defense problem.
Pool fouled. I'm not blaming the game on him, but I was like, uh-oh.
Of course.
They know how to go.
You wouldn't blame it on Steph or Clay.
Stop it. That's a
I know, Steph's first game back.
Those are Wiggins second.
Yeah. No, you're right.
But you expected to be I
expected him to beat the Phoenix Suns.
So did I.
And I expected him to be better than 5-3.
So did I.
With this
on TNT
horse bleep homestand of opponents. That's all. I'm not, could they win it? Yes, of course, it's within the realm of possibility.
There we go.
They ain't going to, please. Stop insulting me, though.
Who's defending champ? That means nothing to you, but still, who's defending champ? They got the ring. They are the champs.
No, they're not.
How?
They're not champions right now.
So
you got to play
parade
like champions.
were we at broadcasting?
The defending champions.
That's all I'm saying.
See, and that's the thing. That's what you hold on to.
When
doesn't
you're
matter.
in the window, you have that.
Right. They have
Look
experience.
at my ring. What did D-Lee get last night? His ring.
They have experience.
Hasn't been tested
one game
yet.
this
I'm not
year.
saying they're being lazy asses, Steiny, and they don't look all good. Don't count them out. Don't go New Edition. Counting them out.
Stop it.
Count me out.
Yeah, I guess you're not a big eye test guy, are you?
That's the only test I take.
Oh, yeah. Well, they look good, don't they? 20 and 21.
Last night was what happened?
They're not very good, Goo.
You didn't leave here saying they're going to lose to Phoenix.
Of course not.
Nobody did. It was 12.5 points spread.
So the fact that they lost that game isn't like, oh, well, they lost that game.
No, you don't go in fetal position and not practice.
Guru. They had and you know what? Oh, you got to adjust. They had everybody back, and the Suns were missing Ayton, Booker, Paul, Campaign, Johnson.
Oh,
they're missing
man.
5 of their top 6 guys.
Dude, I'm still shocked.
Okay, but they're going to win it. Yeah, they're going to win it.
Hey,
okay.
I'm not defending last night. That was pathetic, and you can tell by Kerr's words. He's like,
why do you think the defense can get to championship level? Why do you think this team can get to the championship level defensively that they were at last year or at any time in the dynasty?
Okay.
Their personnel is different, and it's also older.
And I'm going to say it's also been absent, and also it's a mindset. And for whatever reason, and maybe, Steiny, this is what happens when you win. They're going to turn it on or flip that switch. We always hear that in sports. Now, there may be no electricity, but to me, I think there will be a full charge and a guy that I know this bothers you when I bring up his name. Defensively, Kuminga can help. And unfortunately, he got hurt at a time that, he would have really been able to take advantage of Wiggins not being there, Steph not being there. But with that, I'm betting on him
to do what?
To bring to help this defense when it's go time. I'm not ready to say they got cement shoes, they can't guard. I saw it on Christmas. I saw it against Boston.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't you get it? Don't you get it? When you get old, you can't do it consistently anymore. You can only do it in fits, starts, and spurts. Draymond Green has had levels this year where he has been off the charts. They have been few and far between compared with years past. Yeah. I don't believe, here's the thing. One of the reasons they put it all together last year was because when the playoffs came around, they were a 3rd seed and they were completely healthy. That's one of the reasons that they won it. We have and that was lucky. That they were absolutely lucky that everybody got healthy at the right time.
No doubt.
I don't think that's going to happen again.
Well, you pointed something out yesterday, and I got to go back to it. You said Draymond and Stephen A. Forget Stephen A. Draymond said they could go on a run and they could win it. They won it. Draymond also said this year, this is Oaktown A on YouTube, that seeding doesn't matter this year.
Okay.
And they're sure acting like it, but I'd like to see them to be higher until I see them crumble or look bad defensively in the playoffs. Then I'm gonna say, what, Steiny, you saw.
They're gonna be able to turn on their defense.
I think that comes with the territory.
Come on.
And it may be before the playoffs. It may be this road trip.
They were
embarrassed last night.
They don't have the personnel anymore to defend like they used to. Plain and simple. We talk about the 3-point shooting. Their championships were built on defense and switching everything. They had Steph Curry, who was an average defender. They had Klay Thompson, above average, perhaps the best 2-way defender in the league. Wiggins and/or Durant, both positive defenders. Draymond at a level by himself. They don't They can't do that anymore.
Okay.
Now they have Jordan Poole, who must play 25 to 30 minutes a game. He's awful on defense. Right. They have Steph Curry, who has taken a step back on defense. They have Draymond Green, who cannot recreate what he did in 2018 for an entire playoff series.
But Wiggins, you got a front line of Wiggins, Looney, and Dre.
Okay.
And forget DPOY because that's going to raise your blood pressure. He has been active.
Who?
Draymond
that
this year for me.
Championships, Goo.
But those three combined, that ain't mincemeat. That ain't barbecue chicken.
It has been so far.